unnecessary absenteeism. This is a serious commitment. And if you are not committed to be in this discipline, better choose another department where you can practice your whatsoever. Social work is a commitment discipline. No one who is not committed should try to test social work. Last week, we were here, and one of us defined what social work is all about. Do you remember the definition that was submitted to us last week? What was it? The definition that was submitted to us last week, what was it? Anybody remembering it? How many were here last week? Can I see your hands? Okay. Be reminded that you can go and enjoy other classes, but when it comes to a class in which you are majoring, like social work, be serious, be committed, be here, and not anywhere else. Put all your ideas, all your thoughts, all your whatsoever energies, be enthusiastic, even when you are listening. You need not just to be far away or be thinking other things or doing WhatsApp whatsoever. Be committed and be serious in classes like this one. Somebody submitted a definition for social work. What was it? Anybody remembering? Anybody remembering the definition of social work that was submitted to us last week? What was it? Do you really qualify to be in this university or at this level of learning, tertiary level? You are just beginning. You are in year one. You need not to be saturated with other unnecessary ideas, especially when you are in the class setting. Yes, what was it?
I think it's in which trained professionals are devoted to help in helping vulnerable.
You define social work as?
A practice in which trained professionals are devoted in helping vulnerable.
Practice and what? In which?
Trained professionals.
Trained professionals. Tell us more.
Are
Devoted. Are devoted
in helping vulnerable.
in helping vulnerables and what? And need what? In the videos, kind of. Why am I putting capital letters in those words? Where do you see capital letters? Practice is coming to you in capital letter. Each other what? Trained professional are what? D is coming with also with capital letter and helping vulnerable and needy individuals. Why do we see those words coming to us in capital letters? Why? Do you have any reason for that? Any reasoning? Any reasoning? Any reasoning? Why do we have these words in capital letters in that definition? The practice in which trained profession are devoted in helping vulnerables Indeed, individuals, I could have also included, apart from individuals, what? Venerable? Yes, individuals. And then I'm remaining with some two words here. Here, what is it? What is coming here? Yes, somebody had a male voice. G and C. You must remember these things. And today we no longer dwell on what we dwelled on last week. Last week I was taking you from introduction to social work, VSW 111, bridging that one into VSW 112. So today we are capitalizing our discuss in introduction to social work BSW 2. You already did one, and I know probably Mr. Shimaza will do you to that one, isn't it? Yeah, so Shimaza did his good work, and now I am just deepening the same, and to us, it's just an introduction. So, to some of you just joining us now, you will finish with this one. It seems to be a little bit unfortunate to you, because you are starting from level 2 going to level 1. Do you see the problem there? Are you seeing the problem there? Beginning from 2 going to 1. So, better are these who are from 1 to 12. So, you who are just beginning now, beginning from BSW 2, you need to put extra gear not to miss even an iota or a dagesh of the same. When I say an iota, I mean don't miss anything. An iota and a dagesh, they are borrowed words from other languages. Don't miss even a thread of something that we are going to be presenting in this classroom. So we are beginning at the point that social work is a practice which is done by trained profession in helping vulnerables and needy people. Clear? We must begin from here. Where I say social work is a practice, not just a static thing, but a practice, which means there is an activity taking place in social work, a practice, a daily practice, a weekly practice, in which only trained professions are devoted. There are some people who are trained but not devoted in helping others. We are calling for trained people to be devoted in helping the vulnerables, be it a group, be it a community, be it an individual. These trained persons or officers are devoted in helping. What is it to help? If we say in helping, what is to help? What is to help? Can you come up with what does it mean? What does it mean to help in as far as social work is concerned? What does it mean to help? Can you define the word help? Assisting, I take that one. According to our friend, says hope is assisting. Another meaning for the word hope, because hope in social work is a big word, is the loaded word. In other terms, we say it is a pregnant word. What does it mean to hope? She says assisting. Good, 2 points. Another meaning for the word hope. In social work, we are there to hope. What does it mean to hope? Come again? To do voluntary work. To support. I take that one seriously. To support. That's to help. Another word for helping. I want you to be thinking. We don't want to breed people who do not think. We don't want to breed listeners here. No need for breeding listeners. What does it mean to hope? Again? To guide? To guide?
Encouraging.
To encourage? What does it mean to hope?
Assist.
Already there? To hope. Yes?
Develop.
To
Develop.
develop?
Yes.
Wow. That's the connotation of the same. To develop. Wow. Another one? To hope. To hope. Please give me the meaning of the word hope.
Counsel.
To cancel. Can you come and shake the teacher's hand? Please come. And what is your name? And what is your name? You are Timothy? Congratulations, that's wonderful. To cancel. To cancel. When we say social workers are helpers, but which social worker helps? It's not every social worker. What we are referring here to be a helper is somebody who is what? Trained, and he is a professional. Not just anyone. Other people, instead of helping, when they are not trained, they just injure the client, the victims. You need to go and help, not go and injure the victims. Clear? That's why you are here, getting this training free of charge. Is it free of charge? That's why you are paying for this. In order to be trained, don't waste your resources here. You must be here for a purpose. Helping simply means to assist. And according to our brother said, this assistance is voluntary. You must be willing to deliver that help to that particular needed individual. You must be willing. You must support somebody who is in trouble, who is surrounded by a challenging environment. You must support that one. You must support somebody. You must encourage somebody not to give up. There are some guys whose need is just to be assisted in how they can develop. Yeah. Some people, they are developing well, fully encouraged, supported by all other means, but they need to be counseled. Clear? Another word that also carry water is to direct. To direct. Other people just need to be directed. A social worker is there for that. And today, we are majoring in chapter 1 of our topic number 1 of our on the course outline that was provided to you last week. Did I provide an electronic copy? I just make mention. Can you look at your notes that you got last week? What did I say on the topics? I said I was reading an electronic copy and then I was giving you the topics that we are going to be covering in this noble course. What is topic number 1?
Process of social work.
What is it?
Process of social work.
Say again.
Process of social work.
Process of social work. We are going to focus this morning on what we call the process of social work. Process of social work. What do we mean when we say process of social work? Remember that our focus is on the process of social work. How we really need to do or to conduct our helping skills. How we need to conduct our helping skills, our helping process. How do we conduct it? If you are trained very well and very orderly, you must know that there is a process. Many things in this world require a process. Many things in this world require what? Require what? A process. Can you tell me one other thing that requires a process? Anything. Again?
Planning.
Come again?
Planning.
Planning. You are saying planning requires a process. Can you give me one process of planning? How do you go about that process? In order to pass the examination, you need to plan. And then, how do you plan? How do you plan? How do you plan? In order to pass the examination, you need to plan. Then, how do you plan? How do you plan in order to pass the examination? Can you just give me 2 things that you do in order to make sure that you pass the examination? Again?
Time management.
You need to have time and manage it. The other thing, you must read. The other thing, what else do you need to do in order to pass the examination? You want to pass the examination. And she says the first thing is time. The second time, the other thing is reading. What else? Passing examination requires a process. Any other thing that requires a process? Marriage. That's powerful. What is the process of marriage? Well, the first thing is what?
Courtship.
Courtship, yes. You are very, very intelligent and brilliant at the same time. And I think you can make a very good counselor. Welcome, Mr. Social Worker, sir. Courtship, that's a process of marriage. Courtship must develop. And then what next?
From courtship, you start then planning on your marriage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Courtship, and then you go with the plans. What else requires a process in this world?
Engagement.
Again? Engagement? What is the engagement? The process of engagement? Let me give you a simple thing, brothers and sisters. Even the preparation of food in the name of Sima requires a process. Can you give me the first step? You want to cook Sima. What is the first step? Setting fire. Let us see the process of cooking Sima. I just want to take you into the process of social working so that you should move smoothly. You should bridge from something that you well know to something that you don't know. Let us consider sima cooking. Sima. There is an end here. Sima. What's the process of preparing sima? Number one is what?
Making fire.
You set the fire. The fire. Second stage, the fire is set. Second stage, you boil the water. Anyway, boil water. The other one? Hello? What is tukandila? What is it?
Mixing flour and water.
Probably you add flour, I don't know the spelling, into the what? Into the water. When into the water to make it what? It porridge. When the porridge is done, well done, what do you do? Add more flour to make porridge a little bit what? Hardy. And then you call the hardy porridge what? Sima. And then the sima is ready. Now, sima has been made through or following these four noted process. What's the next thing? Then what? Eating. What's the process of eating? Eating. Eating. There is also a process that takes place. Eating. The sima is there. What's the process now? Washing hands. To others, they don't even wash. Wash your hands. Next. The hands are washed. What's next? To some people, they just start sharing or eating. To some people who are used to going to churches or whatsoever, here they pray. God bless our food in the name of God. And when they say amen, then there no speaking. After saying amen, no speaking, no talking. Talking will start sometime later after 3 rams have entered into your mouth. That's a process. But here we are not measuring in food or sima preparation. We are measuring in the process of social work. What is it? The first process of social work. Who realized it? Who discovered it? The first one? What is it? Can you name it? What is it? Social work process. If this is to be asked during the examination, any examination, we would want you to respond to all the steps in order from A to the end. So this requires you to pay more and more attention, and that is if you want to perform well. According to our brother of wisdom, he says the first step in as far as social work is concerned, if you would want to show that you are trained and devoted in helping people, there is a process. There is what?
A process.
You don't just wake up and run to start helping somebody. You don't have to behave like that. you need to follow a process. If you do not follow a process, you are easily to injure your client. A process must be followed. And according to him, the first step is what we call engagement. Engagement. That's step number one. If you want to help somebody, there is a process. And if you ever helped somebody in the past without following a proper process, we can easily conclude that that person, your client, wasn't helped at all. Instead, he was injured even more because of your untrainedness. The second process is what? Shima? Assess. According to Shima, the second process is assessment. 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 After engaging your client, you have to assess it. Start assessing the things. Now, Udari, can you tell us now the third stage? Again? Planning. Others are looking at me as if these things are coming to us from Mars. No, not at all. They are coming from you. Because you have had a very good homework. And now we go to Taoga. Taoga, tell us, what is the fourth stage? Okay? She says the other stage is evaluation. That is according to how Taoga and the others found. Okay? Now, what do we have somebody now coming to us with the fifth process? I want somebody to come up with the fifth process of social work. Anybody knowing it? This time around, I would want to give an opportunity to our brother in the name of Francis Fabiano to come and stand here and elaborate to us what does it mean to engage a client. Fabiano, come up front here and then make a presentation on whatever you got. And as Fabiano is speaking, teaching to us, please take notes. As Professor Fabiano, coming from our own setting, comes here and starts teaching us, make sure you copy down the notes, because they cannot just be here being frightened by your eyes in there. Welcome. Tell us, what does it mean to engage? Make sure that as you speak to them, you are standing close by the camera, so that even the others from DRC, from Ethiopia, from Mozambique, from whatsoever, Mula and Cholo must see that it's now Fabiano given opportunity by the professor to make a presentation on engagement, while the class at large and even here are busy taking notes. Welcome, sir.
So, engagement is the process refers to the initial interactions between the social worker and the client. Engagement.
Mr. Fabiano, speak slowly so that they can take notes properly.
The engagement process refers to the initial interactions. between the social worker and the client. And for the engagement workers, another point. For the engagement workers refers to the process through which clients become active and involved in their treatment. Full stroke. For the engagement workers refers to the process through which clients become active and involved in their treatment. Involved in their treatment. Involuntary clients. Yeah? We get stop voluntary clients who are legally mandated who are legally mandated of feel pleasure to seek treatment.
To seek.
Yeah, to seek. S-double-E-K. Seek treatment. Involuntary clients who are legally mandated or feel pleasure to seek treatment. Struggle with the engagement. And are often viewed as being resistant. And are often O-F-T-E-N, viewed as being resistant to stroke. Seek treatment. Struggle with engagement and are often
Is that presentation or dictation?
viewed as being resistant. Involuntary. So the engagement is so important in social work, whereby is both a process engagement is so important in social work, whereby is both a process and an outcome. Full stop. Full stop. It requires the effective. And balanced. It requires the effective and balanced use of helping skills and balanced use of helping skills and protective authority to produce an ongoing worker. Or client. Or client relationship and client worker or client relationship that results in the pursuit P-U-R-S-U-I-T relationship that results in the pursuit P-U-R-S-U-I-T. Yeah, pursuit. Oh, thanks. Pursuit and accomplishment of agreed upon goals.
Why are you not writing?
Full stop. A successive.
Are you continuing?
Yeah.
Continue. I'm proud of you.
A successful engagement process. Sets in a place where a strong foundation for the work that the client and the social worker will do together. A successful engagement process sets in place where a strong foundation for the work that the client and the social worker will do together. A successful engagement process sets in a place where a strong foundation for the work that the client and the social worker will do together. B. Class B.
Yes.
Finish.
Let us clap hands for our brother Francis. He has done it very, very well. Let me add a little on what our brother has said. His opening statement was like, engagement stage of social work process is an initial talking or the first step whereby a social worker and his client starts talking to what? To each other. Clear? Yes. Who would want to become a client now? And I want somebody to become a social worker. Who is going to become a social worker? I want to do a demonstration right now. Eric? Who would want to become a social worker now? Eric, come. Who is going to become a client? Who? Tabitha, come. This one, come up front. And your name is Eric. Come here. This one is the social worker. And this one has what? Is a client. So here we see two people. This a social worker, this a client. This one is a client. So the first stage whereby the social worker begins to talk to the client, as they engage into the first talking, we call that what? Engagement. Yes, can you talk to this one for the first time? What? How do you talk to her for the first time? Can you demonstrate? She has just come to you. How do you talk to her? Start talking.
Well, she has found me in my office or in the testament.
In your office?
In my office. No, office. Yes, come in. You may have a seat. Yes. Good morning, madam. Yes. How are you? Good too. You're welcome. How can I help? Yeah, you're welcome, madam. This is a social welfare office, and I'm Eric. I'm a social worker in this Department of Human Rights. So, what's your name, and how can I help you, madam?
My name is Tabitha Ntawali, and I'm here to see.
Can we clap hands for them? What they have done here is exactly how a social worker must engage his or her what? Client. Remember, and I'm saying what? Remember. What am I saying? Remember. When a client comes to meet the social worker in the office, he is none but a client. Clear? When a social worker stands to talk to this one, he is none other than a helper. Clear? So a client and a helper are meeting for the first time. The client is coming to the social worker terrified, disgruntled, powerless, troubled, vindicated. What she wants is nothing but hope. Clear? And then when he meets you as a social worker, remember, that the first thing is to tell her you are welcome. Clear? Don't forget to welcome your client. And when you are welcoming the client, make sure that your face has angels of heaven. Don't welcome your client when your face has indicators of hell and disaster. You know what I mean? You must be smiling. You must be ready to help somebody who is vindicated, troubled, surrounded by adverse weathers. Clear? Be smiling. Don't present the angels of hell on your face to your client. If you do that to your client, the client will just manage to run away from you. Because you are presenting to that client that you are more doomed than the doom itself. You are more problematic than the problem she is coming for help. Make sure, as a helper, your face must present that you will have the capacity to help someone. Clear? Most of us go to ask help from others. How can you manage to present your problem if the helper is not even showing attention to you? He is like this. So he is sitting this way and you are facing this way. Welcome. Can I help you? Will you continue expressing your problem? And suppose you are in your office, and then the client comes in, and then you are on your PC. The client is sitting this side, and then you say, welcome. Can I help you? You are not even looking at the client. And that is very, very bad. It can't even help. It will scare. It will scare the what? The client away. Therefore, the first talking that the client talks to you, the initial discussion is what we call engagement. You are engaging the client into the discussions with you. Clear? You must prepare to engage the client into the discussions with you. If you do not engage the client very well, then the client will not be free with you. So we would want to set something like, why is engagement important? The brother was very clever indeed to articulate at least some significance or importances of what we call engagement. Did you capture that? Who captured the significance of engagement stage of social work process from him? Or I'm using a bombastic word. If I say significance, I am simply saying importance. Did you find any importance of engagement stage of social work? What is it? Why is it important to engage people? To engage people well, to engage client well. Why is it? It helps.
It helps the client to be free, to be open.
Who is this one answering properly now? You, what's your name?
Joyce.
Oh, Joyce. And then she says, if you engage the client very well, the client will be very free and open. Clear? that one. And you have to take that one. And take that one serious. The most significant point of good engagement is this, that the client will be very free and open. That one is one sentence. Don't answer to me like, he will be free, B, he will be open. No, I'm taking that one as one point. The client will be free and open in the helping process. Clear? We will be free and open. Free and open in that helping process. The client will be free and open. Another significance of engagement. Another significance you can suggest. Anything. Why is it important to engage and engage your client very well? Why is it so important?
It helps both client and social worker to try and see how they can move on the next process of assessment.
Come again?
It helps both a client and the social worker to try and see how they can move to the next stage of assessment, because they have known each other, they have discussed on the problem with which a client is facing, so it will give some good time for a social worker to go for the next process, which is assessment.
Very good, sir. When you do your engagement properly, number one is that openness, and it makes the client free and open. Have you captured that one? And then that brother says it helps them to move forward towards their goal smoothly. Clear? It helps the two to move forward towards their goal smoothly. They move without bumps. Clear? They move together, or they move forward towards their what? Their goal. Clear? Without problems. I'm saying, when you engage your client properly, it helps both the client and the helper to move together, to move forward towards their goal properly. Clear? I am saying, if you engage the client together, the client and the helper will therefore move forward together towards their what? Their goal without problems. Number 3, if you engage the client properly, the client, that proper engagement will help the client to build trust on their service provider. Clear?
Yes.
You have your trust built on the service provider. Clear? Trust. If you move together, you see that there is trust. I trust him. He will help me. I trust him. Be trusted by your client. Clear? Let your client trust you by engaging them in a manner that will give no doubt. Clear?
Yes.
Number four, if you engage your client properly, it will help both of you to have your rapport. This word, rapport. 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 You understand? Other people say rapport. But just say rapport. I don't want to hear T. Rapport is well built. What is rapport?
So I can come on in the room.
Rapport is well established and well built. Rapport. And rapport between you and your service provider, a rapport is well built. A rapport that is very trustworthy. What is a rapport? A rapport is something related or similar to good relationship between you and your client. The rapport. The rapport. Say rapport. Everybody say rapport. 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 That's relationship. Rapport. Those people who don't do social work, they don't know this way, the rapport. Relationship. Suppose a young man would want to date you. The very first initial talking can enable you to have a very good rapport establishing between you and him. This means that when going to chips, she is always with you. Do you move with an enemy? No. You move with he who has a good rapport with you. A rapport. It's a relationship. So, for you to have a good rapport with your client, you must know how to engage that particular individual. Rapport, engagement. Another point is this, that it sets a good foundation of your helping process. It sets a good foundation of your helping processing. It sets. So, when a client comes to you, you must talk to that client in a manner that he should not think of going back or running away from you. When you get to the hospital, and then you find somebody, probably the receptionist. Why have you come here? As if it were me. I'll just manage to look at that one, to look up on top and down, and so, this other side, and this other side, in the wave. When I'm going back, I'm going back. Some of you, even when visitors come to your place, they know. You open for them, probably if there is a gate on the face. You have to speak to people very well so that they should be free with you and open with you. There are some who, when visitors know what they're doing, they open. What do you want? No, that one is not here. Thank you. Even before I want James. James is not here. Oh. Don't speak harshly to your client. You must make your client feel sweet of you. Don't scare. Engagement. That's the first topic, the first stage of process of social work. Engagement. Usually, engagement is the beginning of the discussion between the social worker and the client, where greetings are said, where background is discussed, where the problem is presented. Engagement. Shima is now coming to us to present something on assessment, being the second stage of social work process. There are 6 issues there, but he is going to present on the second stage assessment. Welcome, Shima, and then start your presentation on assessment stage of social work. Brothers and sisters, Brother Shima now is on the stage.
Assessment. This is.
Make sure you raise up your voice for other international listeners to also get blessed.
This is the second stage which comes after engagement. So during this stage, during this phase, the social worker gathers information from the client and sometimes from other people and sometimes from other
This
people.
one is saying you must do it slowly.
During this phase, the social worker gathers information from the client and sometimes from other people close to the client. During this phase, the social worker gathers information from the client and sometimes from other people close to the client.
From the client and
And
sometimes
sometimes from other people close to the client.
Go ahead.
So this will help the social worker get information on the client. It helps to get information on the client's strength, needs, challenges, goals, and resources. Yeah, that's the importance of assessment. This will help the social worker to get information on the client's strength, needs, challenges, goals, and resources.
Continue.
So by examining these aspects, you will be able to identify like footstep and back. By examining these aspects, you will be able to identify what needs to change and why. And generate an idea about what should be happening next. By examining these aspects, you will be able to identify what needs to change and why, and generate an idea about what should be happening next. Methods and techniques of assessment. Methods and techniques of assessment. This will help on how to assess a client's strength, weakness, motivations, and resistance. This will help on how to assess a client's strength, weakness, motivation, and resistance. Motivations and resistance.
You assess the client and then
Strength, weakness, motivations, and resistance. First point, the counseling process and initial interview. The counseling points, the counseling process and initial interview.
initial interview.
Yeah.
It's in
First point, the methods. First point on methods and techniques of assessment. First point. This will help the social worker listen carefully and pay attention to get the details on the client. This will help the social worker listen carefully and pay attention to get the details on the client. Details. Listen carefully and pay attention to get details. Yeah, on the first point, but another point here. Role playing. Role playing. No, not two. The dash is second one. Subtitle. Role playing. No, it's another point, but on the main point. Yeah.
Before you continue, can you repeat the first point? I can't say the first.
Okay. The counseling process and initial interview. This will help the social worker listen carefully and pay attention to get details. Hmm? Okay, role playing. On this, one needs to write out what their character says, thinks, and does, and post it, usually in a forum.
You should be reading slowly. Like what you're doing when you're speaking in slow.
Role playing and we got out in a actually role playing, then I'll go back and explain. Okay. On role playing, one needs to write out
clap hands for our brother, Shima. He has done the following things. Shima has articulated. I like how he has made mention of assessment. According to him, he was so confident to say to us that assessment, if you can forget anything, everything on assessment, do not forget that assessment is the second stage of social or process of social work. Clear? Assessment, that is the point. Engagement is the first. Assessment is the second. One more point on engagement. A client talks more than the helper. One more thing on engagement. Who talks more? Client. Who listens more? Now assessment. In the second stage, assessment. Now it's the client, the helper asking this one to tell the truth. Before the rapist started raping you, how did you dress? You see, that he would want to probe more. No, I was dressing as usual, properly. Okay? Then you also go to other people. My friend, this one who is your sister, what is her daily behavior like? You hear from her, you hear from other people. What benefits does this give you? 3 significance. Number 1, it helps the social worker to know the strength and weakness of the client. Clear? When you hear from her, and when you hear from others, you know whether your client is weak or is what? Is strong. Number 2, it helps you, assessment helps you to know that indeed this one deserves to change. Number 3, it helps social workers to mobilize resources in order to help this one. Because you have assessed, then you know that in order to help this one well, we need this, we need this, we need this, we need this, we need this. For today, this is the end of our presentation. Remember, we have defined what assessment is. We have said what assessment is. What is assessment in social work process? No, in as far as social work process is concerned, what is assessment? Who knows the answer? Assessment? Who knows the answer? A simple answer. Who knows it? Explain what engagement is. What is engagement? I was mentioning assessment. I wanted to say engagement. How can you explain engagement? What is engagement? Answers from you? Again? Initial interaction, or you can also say is the first stage of the process of what? Social work. Clear? What does it have? What does it involve? What does it involve? Engagement? Engagement? What does it involve? Hands up. What does engagement involve? What does it involve? Engagement. It involves interaction between social worker and a client. Another involvement? Who does more? Who does less? The client talks more, while
The whole talkness.
talks less. And then, what is the significance of engagement? Any significance? When I say significance, I'm talking about the importance of engagement.
It helps the client open.
I want hands. Yes, you.
It helps the client to be open
It helps the client to
and to feel free and open.
be free and open. Good. Another point, yes.
Trust in social way.
It builds trust between the two. Another point. Another point, yes.
It creates space for creativity and innovation.
Very good. Another point.
Rapport is well.
Rapport is well established. Rapport is well established. I am saying rapport is well established. Now, on assessment. What is assessment? Assessment?
Get information from the client and other people.
What is it in as far as social work process is concerned? It is a second stage. What does it have? What is involved in assessment? Gathering information from where? From where? Client himself and all other people. Why is that exercise significant?
It helps help to mobilize resources.
It helps the helper to mobilize necessary resources for the work. Another important.
It helps the helper to understand the strength and weakness of the client.
Exactly. To understand the strength and weakness of his client. The third one is what? It helps the client to know whether there is little change that is needed in that client. Clear? Good. That's the end of the class. After teaching and involving other students to make a presentation, at the end of the class, it is better to ask the questions to the students in order to make sure that these students of mine have gotten the meat that is necessary to make them heard. Clear? So, congratulations to you all that you were able to answer the questions. Next week, when we meet in here, we will also continue with the same process of social work. Let me now try to tell you that number six here, stage is termination. While number 5 here is, yes, sir. You are saying, sir.
I wanted to ask that what is going to start.
No, do not ask the styles of Sarah, because Sarah is well informed. Yeah. So number 6 is termination, while number 5 is what we call disengagement. Engagement. However, you must also see that number 4 is also known as monitoring. And evaluation. It is also called monitoring and evaluation. While number 3 is also called while we say planning, we call this one implementation and what? And intervention. We see that you can call it planning, But in other words, we call this implementation in intervention. Clear? And evaluation is also known as monitoring and evaluation. Now, at this regard, I would want, while we have had who? Francis presented on that one, while Shima has presented on that one. Next week, we will have our sister Hilda Ligogo to do on this one, and then we will have Taonga doing on this one, and then who would want to study on engagement? How many girls have presented this morning? None? Why? None? Now, these things are 6. We need 3 ladies and 3 gentlemen. So we have had only 1 gentleman in the name of Francis. Shima also being the second one. I need the 3rd boy. And you as who? Boston. You will talk to us on engagement. Number 5. Disengagement. And then on termination, we need a lady now who will come and boldly speak on termination. Which lady now? Passing the examination begins now. And failing the same begins now. Termination. Who would want to have?
White lady.
Who? Please go do it voluntarily.
White lady. Volunteer.
Who is doing this one?
Isabel.
Where are you? You shouldn't be hiding. So you will do that way. When you do these things, make sure that you feel happy when you come here and make a presentation. You must feel good. You must feel powerful. You must feel uplifted. You must feel giant. You must feel blessed. You must feel nice. You must feel good. You must feel number 1. You must feel excited. If you have an opportunity to come here and make a presentation, make sure that as you make your presentation, make sure you dress properly as well. Because the people in Angola, in Mozambique are seeing you. Don't become ashamed to people. Say, is this how Malayan students look like? Feel nice. People are seeing you near and far. Feel happy. Don't even feel intimidated. Next week, we are concluding on the process of social work. We are concluding on this one next week. And after next week, we will have an indoor class examination right here on the 6 stages of social work. And that is me telling you as your professor in social work. God bless you, and bye for now.
Ready to sign up.